business on display. Yeah, 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 yeah. We gon' put your business on display. I got winners on the way. You know you can't knock the hustle. And if you gotta get in place, then we gon' put your business on display. Grab a seat with Neesha for a minute. And if you got the goods, we can talk about your business. She know what it's like to make a move independently. And I don't fake us like that. We been trusting God like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We are here again with We Work Wednesdays. Nisha's Network here. I'm so excited about today. I'm probably on steroids. You're probably going to have me, I'm going to sound like I'm on some form of a speed because currently I cannot have anything but decaf coffee. But today, our special guest is none other than Kelly Hackney with Caffeine with Kelly. And I'm not going to bring her on yet because I just want to say, many of you all know that coffee is like my favorite choice of beverage. And when I met Kelly, I'm just going to tell you all, it was like a burst of joy, like a burst of caffeine, like literally, like somebody just injected me with a burst of caffeine. And although we haven't talked very much, I'm super excited to bring her on. So let me introduce everybody, none other than Caffeine with Kelly Hackney. Come on, Kelly. Welcome to Neesha's Network.
Hi there. Coffee cheers.
Yeah, let's do cheers, girl.
Cheers.
Now mine looks a little cloudy and is normally not that cloudy, but I'm not supposed to really have coffee right now.
I won't tell anybody.
So I'm having more non-dairy creamer with my coffee, with my decaf coffee. But I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I'm really excited.
Oh, good. So all the coffee lovers, put in the chat, talk back to us. All the coffee lovers, put it in the chat. And I guess caffeine lovers, because really I don't drink soda and pop and the things with caffeine like Red Bulls and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I did notice that Starbucks now has these refreshers. So I thought that I could get me I really love passion fruit. So let me just have a little, and boy, oh boy, did I find out that I was like on Zing.
Next level, Neesha.
So tell me a little bit about, well, first of all, Kelly is from Wisconsin, Madison by way of Milwaukee, and she's been married 1 year. Whoop, whoop. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
And the most important thing the reason I fell in love with Kelly was that she loves the Lord. And when you find other believers that love the Lord and their passion is not only coffee and Jesus, girl, let me tell you all have a combination right there. Okay. So I am just excited, but I want to talk about what in the world made you name your business Caffeine with Kelly, but let's just talk about caffeine, period. What does that include? Like any caffeine?
Yeah. So I guess growing up, even when I was really little, I would stay at my Nana's house for the weekend or go over there whenever. She was only a few miles from my mom's house. And I remember she would have coffee, and I should have brought one, but she has since passed, and I have her coffee mugs. But I remember sitting there, and she would give me basically a giant cup of milk with like a splash of coffee, so I could feel like I was in the in crowd having coffee with her and her girlfriends in the morning.
Yeah.
And so from there, my mom's a coffee drinker, my sister's a coffee drinker. I'm a big fan of Gilmore Girls, and obviously they drink a lot of coffee on that show. But through like high school and college, I drank a lot of like Monster and Red Bull and all of that stuff. So after college, multiple career paths after that, I started a blog, and I wanted it to be alliterative and about really who I am and be personable and connect with people. And that was it. I called it Caffeine with Kelly. And about 6 months after that, I decided, you know what, we're going to make this more of a blog. And that's really where it came from. It's deep rooted in my love of coffee, but also really family and feeling warm. Like that warmth that coffee gives you, the love.
Girl.
You having coffee with a friend, that's the emotion I wanted to evoke with my brand. And so that's why I continued with it.
So let me just say, I know people love iced coffee, but everybody that kind of knows me on a personal level knows I like to hold the mug, an actual mug, and feel the warmth of the coffee. And since I'm a December baby, it's the most wonderful time of the year in the holidays. And I love having a nice warm cup of coffee. But I also love having coffee with a friend or coffee with a sister, even though me and my sister, I told her who I was interviewing this morning, and my sister is absolutely anti-coffee. One sister, Cynthia, my sister, she loves coffee, but my sister, Shauna, absolutely. She was like, the smell of it sounds nice, but the taste of it is horrible. And there's something wrong with you. Our mother didn't do well, and father went and had you because you don't love coffee. But anyway, yes, blanket. So anyway, but I was telling her about that, and so I think it, for me, it just brings togetherness. I don't know why. It's like, let's go grab a cup of coffee. But I definitely like the mugs and the warmth of it. And so just people. So of course you're probably a people person if you were sitting at your nana's drinking coffee at a little young age. Well, cream coffee with your cream.
Right.
Right?
Splash of coffee.
So I know you said you have a marketing background. So tell us how all of that tied in. What made you go into marketing, first of all?
Oh yeah. That's also a story from when I was young too. My dad, as a young girl at church, would voluntold me to speak. And so I was a reader basically as early as I could read.
I have never heard anybody say voluntold me.
Yeah.
I not volunteered, but voluntold me.
You voluntold me.
I'm gonna use that, Kelly. Go ahead.
Use it all you want. And so I started speaking at a young age, or I would be, I would be in music halls, or I would be in, something at church where I was always on stage. I danced at church because I'm also a trained dancer. And so I danced in front of the congregation a couple times. And so I was always on stage. And so speaking to me was always really dear to my heart, and performing. And when I went to, I was maybe like 8 or 9, and there was a like take your daughter to work day type things. And I went to work with my dad, and he is a CFO. And so I remember sitting in a giant break room, or giant meeting room with like one of those long tables.
Conference room, yeah.
Yeah, and he brought me in there, and I remember he gave everyone a spreadsheet, and he's talking boring numbers, and I just remember coloring it in. And afterwards, we went to lunch, and he brought me back to the office and dropped me off in the marketing department and said, "Okay, I'm going to pick you up in a couple hours, but I think this is your place."
Oh my
And
goodness.
and that was it. And so ever since in middle school, I was able to take an entrepreneur track. And then I went in high school and started marketing classes, and then went to college for marketing and never wavered. And now we're here. And to me, marketing is the way to make someone feel something about a brand that they haven't before, right?
Mm.
So when I was embodying my brand, I wanted people to feel warm. I wanted people to feel welcome. It's more than just the coffee, and it's more than just the colors that I represent. I wanted people to have a chat with me and know that I am there for them, and I am here to serve at my core. And marketing is just the avenue that was presented to me, that was gifted to me for me to do that.
Wow, what a gift, because thinking about even the word caffeine gives you a jolt,
Mhm.
and it gives you a boost. And so I guess that's Kelly's gonna give us a boost today, you guys.
Get ready, everybody.
She's gonna jolt us into this conversation. But before we do that, I wanted to say, I thought about that, and I know you don't. She's married a year, so she doesn't have babies yet. She has fur babies.
Mhm.
Everybody loves fur babies. But how important do you think that is to have your children, go to work with you? Or do you think that was that? I know you said that was like the seed that was planted there, but how important do you think that is, in today's time, with just, do you think that that needs to happen more, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of tests shouldn't be like the one thing that sets you apart from greatness at school. I think you should be able to go to local businesses and learn, and really get to learn what it means to be an entrepreneur, or what it learn. I was but
Oh boy, you're breaking up, Kelly. This is so terrible. I can't hear you. Oh my goodness. I can't hear you at all. I'm gonna find out if they can hear you backstage, and it might be my internet and not yours. But if you guys can hear Kelly, please let us know. We definitely will. She's frozen right now. So Kelly, if you can hear us, log off and log back in. You guys, we're here with Neesha's Network here talking with Kelly Hackney with Caffeine with Kelly. And so what we're going to do is we're going to allow her to log off and log back on. And super excited about today, you guys, because she was just talking about how important it is that tests are not the only way that you should invest in your children, but she definitely should definitely yes, bring your children to work with you and go to local businesses. So that's where we left off, Kelly. I don't know about the internet today, the Wi-Fi, but we're
I'm
going
sorry.
which
It
will
could
lead
be
us to our
me.
next topic. It'll lead us to our next topic. So
It
it's
sure will.
so go ahead and finish telling us about how important it is to allow your children to go ahead and invest in them in another
Yeah,
way.
and I'm speaking from a third party. I don't have children myself. I have a beautiful nephew. But for me, being able to learn hands-on with someone, even if it's one day, and you get to go to a business for one day or a half day while you're in middle school or high school to really, really learn what that means when someone says, "Do you want to go into math or do you want to go into science?" Um, it's I think it's a better way to grow and to learn.
Yes.
And I know they have things like the STEM program for
Yeah.
like science and math. They
Mhm.
should have that for every avenue,
Yeah.
right? If you want to be a singer, go to a local, theater and really learn what that is. Learn from a singing coach or whatever it is. Because life is different when you get out of school. And I think people will just find any job right away and realize, oh, well, that's not what I wanted. Or you make it all the way through college and you get to your internship and then you go in and realize, oh, I don't want to be in marketing at all. That's not aligned. But the books tell me it should be awesome and aligned with me, but physically doing it isn't what I want to do. And I feel like there is so much power in doing that when you're younger so
Yeah.
that you don't have to waste all this time
Yeah.
and energy. And me, I feel like I was really lucky that I knew from a young age this is what I wanted to do. Kids wanted to be doctors and lawyers and vets. And I was like, well, I want to be in marketing. People were like, what's that? I'm like, I don't know, but you get to be creative and love on people all day. Isn't that awesome?
And find out other people's dreams and help push them there. So,
Mhm.
I want to say this to all the parents and grandparents to go ahead and voluntold your children, volunteer
Volunteer
your
them.
children, not volunteer them. Kelly was voluntold to go to the go and sing and dance and go to the marketing firm. I have been voluntold as a child. I remember them I was voluntold to sing. I did not get a chance to have a question in my mind. It was like, Neesha, we want you to sing a song today, and I had to do it. So that's very interesting, but I do believe it pushes the children to their destiny. Sometimes you have to see the giftings inside of them and not unknowingly write the full picture, but plant a seed. And I think that's so key. So with that being said, a lot of our this generation, are relying on technology. And so, because Kelly is in marketing, we really want to dive into what happened the other day that I was blindsided by it, but I did find out probably by 10 o'clock. I was starting to look for some things and could not find them. And I said, oh, this is just my Wi Fi acting up. So then I went to my other cell phone. Then I
Mhm.
went to another social media page. I was like, oh my word. So the other day, tell us what happened, Kelly.
The other day, Facebook, right, where we're chatting right now. Good thing your chats aren't on Monday. The other
Yes,
day, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp were all down. And there was no one getting in. No one was
not
getting in.
so. Right.
Imagine the panic of millions of people that wake up their morning and go on social media right
Yeah.
away, right?
Yeah.
Or people that market their business solely on social media, especially those
Right.
two platforms. Chaos
Yeah.
ensued. And I think some people either took it as, well, I'm going to take the day off because they're on those platforms so much, or other people went, what am I going to do? And kind of panicked for most of
Yeah.
the day.
And how
Um,
people make money. People make
yeah.
money through social media, and a lot of people use marketing. Well,
Mhm.
majority of the people, I mean, in my world, made me know that I rely on it totally, right? So,
Mhm.
so I do know that most of the people that I talk to and I deal with, their business is marketed through Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I know I talk to people in other countries through WhatsApp. So I don't really know how WhatsApp works except to talk to people in other countries. But anyway, it definitely made me realize how much I depend on social media for my business. I'm curious as what to do. So yes, so let's dive into that, because I did think about that, and it's informative because it's not just about your business, you marketing it, but it's about what I was looking for the other day was someone else's business, and I could not find it. So Kelly, tell us a little bit about what do you think we need to do in that case?
Let's say it crashed completely, right? We're not talking right now. This is never happening. My first thing is I would be Googling the businesses that I want to look into, right? Or work with, or buy from. If they don't have a link, say the link that they have built through their Instagram, through their Facebook, they don't have another page, they don't have anywhere else that's what they do, they're lost. And imagine having your only clients from social media. Like if you are only on Instagram, right? I know many coaches that are only Instagram coaches. And so if that's that, right? They were done for the day. And so if
wait a minute, tell me about that, because I didn't even know that was a thing. So they're only Instagram coaches.
Yep.
What does that look like?
So I am a full compass marketing human, where I help people with their all-encompassing strategy, which includes social media, but it's also email and website and all of the other things. Some people are literally coaches just for people to get more help on Instagram, or just for people to get more help on Facebook. And I really think that it caused such a panic, because I could tell people for basically this whole year of having my business of, you should really have an email list. What happens if social media crashes?
Yeah.
And look what happened. When that happened, I emailed my email list immediately and said, hey, I'm still here. If you need anything, I'm here. And that's really important. And so I think the first thing is to make sure you have some sort of landing page that has your business name, your name, and what you do very clearly, so people can Google you if they need to find you, if something like that happens.
That's really good. That's really good, because some people are only using Facebook or Instagram as their landing page, like go there and they have nothing else after that. So that's very interesting that you would say that. So the first thing is create an email list, right?
Yep.
And the second thing is to have some form of a landing page. And I know a lot of people before, Kelly, people are like, oh, I can't afford to do a website, or is it really worth me doing a website? So maybe you could just share a little bit between, a landing page and a website. Like what is the difference, and what beside costs?
Sure. Yeah. So I obviously am a big proponent for people to have a website, right? Have all your details out there, but I'm in marketing. And so if I didn't have a website, people would be confused about what I actually do. If you are in a market where all they need to know is your phone number, how to contact you, maybe a paragraph about what you do, and a photo of you, because again, people buy from people.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're always present. I think a landing page that's as simple as that you could probably find a landing page for free somewhere that is templated and you just kind of put your information in, is really important. Because if you didn't have an email list and you didn't have social media ever again, you have to have somewhere for them to find you.
Yeah.
And worst case scenario, if you can't afford a landing page, because even that you'll probably have some sort of cost, you should be able to go on Google and you can look up Google My Business, and at least you can have a page on Google My Business. So when people Google you, you'll come up on the side.
Okay.
And that's also really important. So basically, whatever you can do so that people can Google you in the future and they can find you without social media is key.
Okay. Okay. So my mind is going 1,000 miles a minute, just because I have several businesses and slash ministry, and so I'm thinking about the landing pages that I have, and I was thinking about the website and all these things. So that's why where my mind is going. But I was going to ask you, how important is it, the visual of what people see first? When they, because I know you said have a photograph. So you know, me and Kelly met on Clubhouse, and you know, and we talked, and so there's tons of people to give you so much advice. There's tons of room to gather so much information. And our mutual friend Talisha Joseph, who I did interview a few months back, she talked about the difference between networking and relationship. There were two different things. And so, oh, Tasha Hart said hi.
Hey, Tasha.
Yes, we're all coffee, Tasha. Kudos to you, girl. But I was thinking about this because in that the people that I literally connected with on Instagram, Clubhouse through Instagram, I was very intentional about taking things a step further so that I can build a relationship.
Mhm.
But I wonder, because if your name wasn't catchy and I didn't remember your face, because I did remember your face immediately, especially with the coffee,
Mhm.
I could have Googled you and I could have looked you up. But I was wondering, how important is it to take it a step further beyond just meeting the people on the social media platform? You know, that you
Mhm.
really, if it's not about business, or is it about relationship, or what is it about? But you'll never know when you need that information. So if Instagram has shut down, you stuck out in my mind. I knew who you were. Like I would know who Tasha is because of that puzzle. So
Mhm.
how important is it to have something that stands out to people, that to make them have a memory?
I think you answered it. I think you want to make sure, whether you're a business or not, there's something distinctive about you that will set you apart, right? We're all made beautifully and wonderfully made with different fingerprints. If only we could look up fingerprints, but we can't. So, what is something that makes you stand out and you special? And it could be as simple as, you know what? Like I have the word coffee on my website multiple times so that if someone searches Kelly and coffee, hopefully I'm the one that pops up if they remember nothing else about me,
Yes.
right? And so you could have something as simple as that to make sure it's something that'll lead back to you.
So
And
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I
no,
have to ask this. So you're absolutely correct. But think about this. So I'm a point to my Nisha's network pillow.
mhm,
Okay. And so that's my logo, right?
mhm,
But most people tell me it reminds them of money. It doesn't remind them of networking. But does that make a difference? You know what I mean? Like if your logo. So I know there are tons of coaches, okay? And
mhm,
you're a coach, but you're a marketing coach and a strategist and all of that. But what stood out to me was coffee, right? The
mhm,
caffeine, your name. But what about the people who don't really have the visibility or the creativity? They just have, I don't want to say just, they are a coach, whether it's a
mhm,
business coach or a marketing coach or whatever. What do you think are some of the things they could do to make themselves stand out? Is that really important?
mhm. I think I think it is very important. And when people are coaches and they go and apply to have their LLC or to be incorporated or whatever the business side that they're going with is, I would recommend them having a business name besides their own name. Because then if nothing else, it could be Kelly Hackney and even if it's like caffeinated marketing is the
Okay.
name it's
Okay.
not, but
Okay.
it would be another touch point because you're right. If they don't remember your name, you got to give them something else. And if
Mm,
you only hear someone on Clubhouse, they say, "Hi, I'm
that's
Kelly
true.
Hackney. I'm the owner of Caffeine with Kelly." And they don't remember anything else I say after that. Hopefully those things will stick so they can look at one of those. And on a social media front, so many people are ingrained in Instagram and Facebook, but I think people forget about the LinkedIns of the world. And that's something, especially as a professional, regardless of what you do, you should at least
Should
be
be
on there and be
there.
updated. Yep.
Okay.
Make sure your profile image is the same that's on Clubhouse and Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. So people know that it's you. You're the right Kelly that they're finding, right?
Mm.
Um, that's really important.
I'm just laughing because Tasha said that she says when she thinks of me, she thinks of stylish eyewear
Yes.
and insight. Okay, so that's nice. Thank you, Tasha. But I think about that because some people think of me with marriage because I do that
Mhm,
more than probably anything. Then some people think of me as a hairstylist, and then
mhm,
some people think of me as a networker or a connector, and then I could go on and on. Those are three. Let's just use those three. I have more, but let's just use those three. And then, so do you think I should do something about my glasses? You know what I mean? Like I should come up
how
with
fun.
something else.
For me, I think your name is standout-ish enough. It's not like your name
Okay.
is Betty Sue, or
Okay.
Sally. Neesha is a beautiful, very different name.
Okay.
And I think when people like that is standout-ish enough, and then they recognize you because of your different eyewear every time you're in a video, right?
Okay.
I was giggling to myself in the intro video of this because you have different looks in every scene of you. And I love that. It made me fall in love with you even more. And so I wouldn't like change your logo or anything. I think your logo is great.
Okay.
Um, I think it would be fun if you start using your messaging in a tone of, gathering insight and things like that. So it kind of
Ah.
plays on words for you.
Look, I have
Um,
to hire Kelly now, you guys. So I'm gonna stop talking to her about me because I'm using myself as an example so that people can understand the dynamic of how important it is of
mhm,
what people see. Because you could have a great headshot, but that
mhm,
doesn't mean that people will identify you. You know what
right.
I mean? And it goes exactly with your brand. So
Mhm,
that's I guess that's what I asked why I asked that question. Okay. So let's get back to Facebook shutting down, Instagram shutting down. So
mhm,
LinkedIn, no matter what business you have, you should
mhm.
be on there and how visible. It's
Yep.
so hard though to manage all these pages if you don't have some help. Do
Yeah.
you recommend posting every day? Do you recommend
Mhm,
posting the same thing on all four pages or
mhm.
Twitter or what do you recommend in that regard? Because LinkedIn didn't shut down.
Yeah. Oh, no, LinkedIn did not. No,
Right.
sorry.
So
Mm-mm.
so
Mhm.
it's important to use all platforms, you think, Kelly?
You know what? This is definitely a deterrent of which strategy you're using. For me, right, I am on every single platform, but I am a marketer and I have lots of clients with many different platforms too. So I have to stay up to date. Would I tell everybody that they need to be on every single platform and post weekly and, have different content all over the place? No, because it's overwhelming as a marketer. I'm sure it's overwhelming for someone that has a separate business as well. And like you're multi-passionate. So you have multiple things going on. Um, I do think LinkedIn for sure. If you're on Facebook and you're on Instagram, if nothing else, you don't need to post on it if you don't want to, but just to be there as a presence so that if there is a time when you're speaking on something like this, you can share that link to LinkedIn and say, I was just on with Nisha's network. Check her out for the rest of the stuff she has going on. Um,
Mm,
LinkedIn is such a great connection platform to connect other people with what you're doing. And so, if nothing else, have the same headshot and make sure your business name is there, if
that's
nothing else.
good. That's good.
So, yeah, I would never tell anyone you need to be everywhere and you need to, you know, actively show up all the time. Do what is right and do what is right for you so that you can have a consistency factor no matter what platform it is to keep growing.
That's
Um,
good.
it's the same with working out. If you're gonna
Yeah,
work out, you can't work out one day and then 3 months later be like, "Well, I don't see the effects of that one time I worked out,"
right.
right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes. So,
similar.
you said that it lights you up being able to spread joy one cup of coffee at a time with your marketing knowledge. Tell us a little bit about that and the passion of why you went into this industry.
Oh, yes. See, for me, I love to be able to, like, your last question you asked, I wouldn't just say everybody needs to post 7 times a day because I don't think there is a cookie cutter version of anything for anyone.
Mm,
And so for me, it excites me when I get new clients and I take days to craft a perfect plan for them for a quarter so that they are successful, they're not overwhelmed, and everything is custom. Because I dig deep into values, into your pillars of your business, into who you are as a human, because people want to buy from you. And so I try my best to be like your third arm, Nisha. So
okay.
I'm able, it's an easy thing. No one knows that you worked with a marketer and you're just ready to go. It's seamless and beautiful. And so that's what I love to do is when I send strategies or when I talk to someone about like email marketing and they get excited about it, that gets me even more excited to provide more value. And I say one cup of coffee at a time because 99% of the time, all of my meetings are over a cup of coffee.
Oh my goodness. And I see you have iced coffee today. Is that iced
Today,
coffee?
you
Okay.
know what? It's usually hot in the morning, iced in the afternoon.
Okay. Okay. So all the things you've accomplished, I do want you to share with us what you're most proud of.
I think because I want to be a speaker on an international stage, I've been trying to put myself in many different places because I love sharing joy and love. And if I could to do that over a cup of coffee with someone in any facet, heck yes, put me there. But at the same time, I think my biggest accomplishment is how fast I've grown my network and how many amazing people I've been able to meet and collaborate with and just build a foundation of people that if I need something, I know where to go and people know that they can come to me. And I love that because they feel welcomed and warm when they're with me.
Okay, so I love that. And so, with that being said, I just want to briefly, and I know we're going to go a few minutes over, but I just wanted to ask you that in that regard, every person you meet, so like you met me, and we didn't get to really communicate until now, like at
Mhm.
least virtually face to face. And so, with that being said, um, how important is it to stay in connection with people, even if they don't become your client?
Oh my goodness, it's invaluable. We are put on this earth to be networkers and love on other people. And so, if anything, now you know what I do, and you could refer me to someone else if you trust me and know me and like me, right? And then the web gets bigger and your circle gets bigger. And how exciting is that?
Yes.
Um, being able to connect and network with people regardless of what stage of the business they're in or what walk of life they're from, that's important because you could touch a life in many different ways that you don't even know about.
Yeah, that is so true. And that's why I love what you do, as well as your personality and the fact that you always are there to just like Kelly, talking to Kelly just brightens your day, right? Like she like her bright as her orange sweater, right? So I had on black earlier. I was like, let me go put on something bright for Kelly. She's so bright and cheery. But
Aw.
anyway, what advice would you give our viewers today and those who watch in the future about just any if they wanted to become more present in the world today, whether it's their business, whether it's their ministry, what advice would you give? And even if someone wanted to go into the field of learning how to or marketing, we have some
Mhm.
people who are going back to school. So what would you advice would you give them?
I would say always stand in your power and be authentically you. I was squashed for many, many, many years in a corporate America type situation. And the second I decided to start Caffeine with Kelly and really serve others in the way that I wanted to and was able and be positive was like the best day of my life. And I hope I never go back. And so my advice would be you were put here for a purpose and really live into that because no one can be you ever. No one. People can try, but no one is you, right? I can't be Neesha. Neesha can't be me.
No.
Um, and I don't want to be Neesha because she's amazing by herself. And so there's that. I think a lot of people are afraid. But I've been told that the feeling of fear is the same as the feeling of excitement. It's just how you think about it. So if you're scared to do something, think about it in a different way to make it exciting instead of fearful, and you will take over the world.
That is so good. Listen, how do people why well, first of all, why would people hire Kelly? Tell me what you would do for them. Nisha's gonna hire Kelly. What is Kelly gonna do for Nisha?
Oh, I love this so much. So, I have a 3-month program. It's called the Fully Caffeinated Marketing Method. And I literally dive in from the beginning of your core values, build a custom strategy, help you implement that strategy, and then do the analytics and reset you up with a new strategy and let you fly. You're basically in my pocket for 3 months, or I'm in your pocket with whatever you need.
It probably goes both ways.
Yes.
What's your website, Kelly? What's your website?
Caffeinewithkelly.com.
Caffeinewithkelly.com.
That's
So
it.
keep telling us. Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. I also have a new product that's out on the market. It's 100 email subject lines that convert. And it's literally an instant download from my website, easy peasy. And I've heard a lot of people use them even just as inspiration to build their next email going forward. There's 100 of them. It took me a while and a lot of research, and I love it. So that's 100 email subject lines that convert, instant download PDF. And then I'm also for the month of October, because that's where we are right now.
And
I'm
it's your
doing
birthday month. Happy birthday coming soon.
thanks. Um, Orange is my favorite, so I can wear orange every day, and I'm so excited about it because people don't judge me in October. And so for October, I'm doing I'm calling them email marketing power hours, especially from what we just went through with social media being
Okay.
down. To really dive into your individual strategy and your individual emails and your qualms and questions. And so I'm yours for an hour. And so I'm doing those up through the end of the month to see how they go, and really help you with your email and stand out that way.
This is so good. I have so much, and really, I'm just gonna say this to you, and then we're gonna get out of here because I've
I know
taken
I'm
up much
chatty,
of your
so
time. No, it's so much because it's like it's igniting something inside of me, and I'm gonna hook up with you and Tasha and a few others because I feel something brewing that I've been saying for a while, and I'm just gonna let it ride for a minute. But what I want to say is that it's so exciting to talk to someone who has a passion to serve people and to see them grow and to see them expand and to see them network and to see them their businesses blow up or their ministries blow up, and then not only that but to build relationships, and that's what Kelly is about. So you guys go visit caffeinewithkelly.com if you're confused about anything in regards to where you need to go in regards to your business, your ministry, or sometimes even a self-discovery call. Go and check out and visit Caffeine with Kelly. I'm so grateful you were here today.
this was amazing. Thank you for sharing the love of coffee with me.
Oh my gosh. Cheers, Kelly. Until next
Cheers.
time, we're going
Thank
to
you.
have you back. And you guys stay tuned for some exciting things for the new year. We're going to get something together to really get everybody on a really great kickstart for the new year. So, and we're going to grab these coaches and marketing strategists and all these people, and we're going to collaborate something so amazing. So until next week, everyone, Kelly, you hang tight. Don't hang up. And everyone have an amazing week. You guys, we will be back next week with We Work Wednesdays with Neesha's Network. Love you guys. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh.